Hi everybody. So today I'm going to do a review of the NRSV Journal of the Word Bible with the Apocrypha. So it comes in a nice clamshell box. I'm going to hold that right there so you could pause and read that top section if you would like. And then we'll drop down and look at the features, which of course is going to be the NRSV. We'll also have the apocryphal books placed between the Old and New Testaments, the NRSV comfort print, lined wide margins for notes, art, and personal reflections, thick cream paper for enduring note-taking and artwork, single column layout, 2 satin ribbon markers, and a 9-point print size. Gives us an example of how the layout looks. This one is a brown Leathersoft. Also gives you an idea of the size of the font. There's our ISBN number. Retail is $49.99. You can find it for less online, and as always, I'll put a link in the description box. So, comes in a nice clamshell box. The Bible itself measures out at 8 3/8 inches tall, 6 3/4 inches wide, and it is 2 inches thick. So we've got brown head and tail bands. We can see we've got 2 ribbons, just plain page edges. And then this cover, it's a Leathersoft, but it's like a rubberized, but it's really, really durable. So you can see that it's got a nice texture, and I don't feel at all like I could damage this, not easily anyway. So nice perimeter stitching. We've also got the stitching across the front that looks really nice. And then we've got that nice design up there. But for a 2-inch thick Bible, you don't feel at all like you're going to drop it, because again, this has got almost like a rubberized feel to it. So nice and durable, plus gives it a lot of grip. So on the spine, we've got that same little design. We've got our stitching. We've got NRSV Journal of the Word Bible with Apocrypha, NRSV, and Zondervan. So really a nice looking Bible. And even though it's 2 inches thick, it's definitely a portable size. So if you use the NRSV and that's what your church uses, this would be a good size for church. So we've got gold paper paste down. And then if I can get it in the right light, this paper has on it, and there we go. So right there you can kind of see that it's got that same little design on there. And at first I didn't notice it because in the right light you don't see it. Then we've got our title page, and I really like the way they do that cross on the NRSV logo. So the way that they've got that written, I think that looks really nice. And this Bible is not even broken yet, and it's staying open. So that's impressive. So nice on binding. The print is nice and bold in this one. So we're going to have the contents. So we'll have the Old Testament, the apocryphal books, and then the New Testament. We've got alphabetical order of all the books. Then we've got a to the reader. And then we'll get right to the Old Testament. I do like the way that they do that line on there with that nice little flare to it. So looks really pretty. And this cream colored paper is a type of paper that in some lights you might see a little bit of a yellow glow in there. But this paper does really well with writing on it. And then plus in low light, it's really easy on the eyes. So we're going to have a single column paragraph format with our wide margins. We're not going to have any cross references in here, but even on the inside margin, there's enough space if you wanted to write some there and then still have your note-taking space. Any type of translation notes will be along the bottom. They added that little line there with that nice little design under Genesis, so I like the way they did that. The print in this one is fantastic. It's a 9-point font, very bold. Now the camera's picking up some ghosting way more than what I see to the naked eye, but fantastic print quality. And everything that I've checked on here is line matched, so that is really nice. I'm going to get you a little bit closer to show you on our note-taking space. So we've got our lines there, and you can see that they're little dotted lines. So if we look at just the dotted line on there, it's between 1.5 inches to 1 5/8 inches. But if we look at from the edge of the text to the edge of the page, that's 2 inches. So you've got plenty of space for taking notes, which is really nice. We've got 2 ribbons. So we're going to have our first ribbon, which is kind of like almost like a rust color, like a rust or slightly like a burnt orange, so kind of a different shade, but it's actually really pretty. I just don't know what color they would classify that as. but I do like that. And it is nice that we do have 2 ribbons. Then we'll take a look at the Psalms. And if you've never read the NRSV, I'm going to show you Psalm 23, which is one of the most popular ones. So you could pause this and read that, and then maybe compare it to whatever translation you do read. And if you're going to be looking into a translation, and if you like it or not, I always recommend people to just like put it on their phone app. And if they have a particular book of the Bible or chapter, read it in the translation that they're used to, and then check it out in the other one. That'll give you a good idea what you think about it. I like to check out different translations, and I've had a lot of people request me to review some Bibles with the Apocrypha, so that's part of why I'm doing this one here. Alright, so then we've got our second ribbon, brown, single-sided satin, but again, it is really nice to have 2. And they continued that same nice little decorative line on there, which I think looks really nice. So we're between the Testaments, and that's when we're going to have the apocryphal books. Now, I do plan on reading these at least once. I haven't read them yet. I personally don't find them to be as scripture, but I do want to read them at least once. And what I found interesting, and this is probably going to be the first book of there that I read in the Apocrypha. So we've got Esther, the Greek version containing the additional chapters. So that was pretty interesting. So we've got Mordecai's dream, the plot against the king, Esther becomes queen. So this is going to be pretty interesting. So I think that's going to be neat. Mordecai's prayer, Esther's prayer. So I'm going to read this one definitely. But I do want to at least read the apocryphal books at least once. And then plus, even if you got one of these and you didn't really want to read these, you can always utilize that note-taking space too. So, but I'll definitely read through that at least one time. And then we've got our New Testament. Again, they did that nice little design there, which I just think that adds a nice little touch to it. And the paper is very nice. So we're going to get into the New Testament. And one thing that I like too, besides the bold print, all the subheadings are nice and bold. So you know exactly what you're looking for. Makes it quick to be able to find it if you're trying to find a certain section, like Jesus heals many at Peter's house. He heals a paralytic. So super easy to find what you're after. Now the New Testament is going to just be black letters, so we're not going to have any words of Christ in red. But again, all of our translation type notes along the bottom. And just awesome to have nice note-taking space. And we're going to get back here, so we're clear back to the back of the Bible, and we can see it's laying totally open for us. We're going to get back to the end of Revelation, and then we're going to have some pages for notes. So these pages will have those little dotted lines, just like the margins do. So you could always number these back here, and then as you're taking notes, if you run out of space, just put a reference to notes, page 2, and then come back and continue your notes. So there's going to be 8.5 total pages for notes. So if you counted front and back, you're going to have 17. So that and all that note-taking space there, I don't think you'll run out of space for notes. And then we're going to have a note regarding the type, which is done by 2K Denmark. And I absolutely love the way that they do the comfort print. I just love it. But really a nice Bible. I'm looking forward to utilizing this one and at least reading the Apocrypha at least once, starting with that section of Esther. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Alright, so again, this is an NRSV, Journal of the Word Bible with Apocrypha. There's the ISBN number. And then they also have, you can get Journal of the Word Bibles in the King James, New King James, NRSV, NIV, so a lot of different options for translation. So if you're a note taker, I would definitely recommend the Journal of the Word editions because they're excellent Bibles. All right, thanks for watching. Have a great day.